What's up guys, it's Michaela. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about what it's like working on a whale watching boat. If you guys are new to my channel or you just don't know, I am a deckhand photographer for Newport Coastal Adventure. This is a whale watching company ran out of Newport Beach, California. So if you're in the market for a good whale watching tour, definitely recommend us. I'm not biased at all. I asked you guys on my Instagram if you are not following it. They're always at the end of this video and they're always linked down below. But I asked you guys for some questions that you guys had about working on a whale watching boat, and you guys provided some great questions. So I hope you guys enjoy and let's dive in. Question number one is, how did I get the job? So I got it in a pretty unconventional way. I have been going on Newport Coastal Adventure for the past year-ish as a passenger. So I kind of got familiar with all the captains and all the deckhands, and I followed the owner of the company on Instagram and he followed me back. So we were mutuals, we knew of each other, and one day I decided to DM him on Instagram asking if he had any like internship like work, or basically if he would hire me to do free labor and I basically would do it for no pay. And we talked for a little bit and stopped talking. 2 weeks later, I guess one of the deckhands he had working for him moved to Alaska. So when he was looking to fill that position, I came up in his mind because I put myself out there and I asked him, hey, if you have any work for me, like please hire me or please let me know. So always be persistent, try. The worst they can say is no. And if they have you in the back of their mind already from you asking previously, when a job position opens up, they're gonna have you in mind as a potential candidate. So it was not the conventional, oh, submit an application, do an interview process and all of that. It was pretty much, oh, hey, you want the job? Here you go. So it was pretty unconventional and not traditional. Question number two is, what are the qualifications for the job? So I am pretty sure a lot of different whale watching companies will have different qualifications, but my couple qualifications that I needed to have was not get seasick. I needed to be able to pass a drug test and any random drug testing from the Coast Guard that they provide, and I believe I needed to be able to swim, obviously, and I think I had to have like a camera or something. It was pretty basic. I think if you work on a bigger boat, you obviously might need more qualifications just because you're on a bigger boat. But since I work for a small, like private owned business on a small Zodiac, I think my qualifications are a little less. But just the basic things like know how to swim, be able to pass a drug test, not get seasick, like the basics. Question number three is, what does a day in the life at work look like for you? So I took a couple clips from a couple previous days at work that I went to, but I basically get there. It could range from, I got there at 8 a.m. one time and then I got there at like 5:30 one time, so it totally depends on the trip. But if I get there at night, I have to wash the boat, clean the boat, like dry the boat and do all of that after our last trip if I am deckhanding that last trip. And if I am deckhanding the first trip of the day, me and the captain have to bring the boat to the loading dock, and a day in the life is pretty chill. I basically get paid to whale watch, which is a pretty damn cool job if you ask me. But yeah, a day in the life at work, I basically get to work. I don't clock in or anything. I just put my stuff on the boat. I bring the passengers down and I tell them, all right guys, this is our boat, like this is the turn or this is the sheer water, life jackets or wherever they are on that boat. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask me, or you can ask captain, whoever is captaining that trip that we're on. And I basically just tell them like safety procedures. When we're leaving and coming into the harbor, it's like a 10 to 15 minute slow boat ride because the harbor is a no wake zone. So I will tell them like fun facts about the houses, or like, oh look, that's Shirley Temple's house, did you know? So just kind of like fun facts, or I'll talk to them about the animals we saw or the animals we could potentially see if we're going out of the harbor. So a typical day in the life is really chill. This is just a super chill job and it's such an amazing job. Question number 4 is, do you work full-time / what is scheduling like? So I am a part-time employee. I do have a second job at a daycare, which I love. I'm trying to convince my boss to let me take the daycare kids whale watching, but not 100% sure because a lot of parents are skeptical about a Zodiac boat, which I think they're pretty cool. I think Zodiacs are better than the big boats, like at Davy's Locker. I went whale watching on Davy's Locker on July 5th. I got so seasick, I was so nauseous, I was miserable, and I realized it's because big boats like rock like this, and Zodiac boats literally go like 35 miles an hour, and when you're going 35 miles an hour on water, there's no like rocking. Scheduling is basically like on July 4th, my boss texted me at 9 p.m. saying, can you come deckhand a 9 a.m. charter? And I was like, okay. So sometimes I know a couple days in advance, some days I know 12 hours in advance, one time I knew 2 hours in advance. Scheduling is very random, especially right now. We aren't having consistent trips all throughout the day like we have been having in previous COVID times. I wish I could work more there, but I can only go when he needs me. So Ryan, if you're watching this, I can work whenever you need me to. Number 5 is, what company do you work for? I answered this in my intro, but I work for Newport Coastal Adventure. I will go ahead and put a link to their website in the description box below. If you're interested in booking a trip, you can go on a private trip or you can rent out an entire boat. I love deckhanding private charters. They're so much more like intimate and they're so much more engaging, and the people are super interested in talking to me, which I love because I'm a talker. Obviously, I talk to a camera for fun. What makes Newport Coastal Adventure different from any other whale watching company in Orange County is they run Zodiac boats. If you don't know what Zodiac boats are, the Coast Guard uses them a lot. They're basically an inflated boat with a metal bottom. I will go ahead and put a picture on the screen of one of our boats, and this is our medium-sized boat. We have a large boat that fits up to, I believe, like 20 people. This one that's on the screen fits, I think, 13, 14 people, and then we have a 6-passenger boat, which is super small but super cool. And they go fast. I think their max speed is like 50 miles an hour, which when you compare that to a big boat like the Ocean Explorer out of Davy's Locker, that goes 10 miles an hour. So we are going 3 to 5 times faster than the bigger boats, so you see more and you spend less time going out and searching for the animals. When I went out on Davy's Locker a couple days ago, we spent an hour going there and then an hour coming back and like 15 minutes looking at animals. And I was like, I know why this is on Groupon now. Newport Coastal Adventure is a little bit more expensive. It's going to be around $70 for an adult. It is so worth it. I paid every time before I got hired. Happily, I wouldn't ever go with any other company. The Zodiac boat goes 3 to 5 times faster, so you're getting out to the animals 3 to 5 times faster, which means you get to spend more time with the animals. So as you can tell, I really love the company that I work for. I love how they run things. I love what they stand for. So you should check them out. Question number 6 is, how often do you work? So I work, like I said, whenever my boss needs me. Last week I worked 1 day, the week before I worked 3 to 4 days. This week I probably won't work at all because I'll be gone this weekend. So it's literally whenever they need me. They need a deckhand on any boat that is 6 passengers or more. So a lot of private charters have like 4 to 5 passengers or 4 to 6, and they don't need a deckhand. So Coast Guard regulations state that 6 passengers or more require a deckhand. So people on your private charters, get more than 6 people out on your boat because I want to work. No, just kidding. But yeah, I really don't work that often. I don't work like a 5-day work week there. I work pretty much 1 to 2 days on average every week. Question number 7 is, what is your favorite part of the job? Can I say the whole thing? I love everything about my job. Like I said in a different question, I basically get paid to whale watch and take pictures of whales. I love it. I love engaging with our passengers who are genuinely interested in the animals that they are seeing. Like when I have little kids on my charters, I love that. They're always so engaged, they're so interested, they love the really fast boats. The last charter I worked, he was probably like 8. Our boat goes like this and it's pointed at the front, and there's like a little metal stair right there that you can sit on, and he was sitting there facing the captain, so he was facing backwards from where we were going, and he was holding onto the ropes, and my captain was like driving like this, like so the kid had fun. And just seeing him laugh and seeing him in awe over the dolphins that are 1 foot away from him, that could be just because I work at a daycare and I have a soft spot for kids, but my favorite part of the job is just seeing people come together and appreciate the ocean, because a lot of people don't appreciate the ocean until they see firsthand what's in the ocean. So I love being able to make people appreciate the beautiful ocean that is literally in their backyard. Question number 8 is, does it look good on resumes? I assume it does. I get field experience with whales and dolphins, so I assume it's gonna look good on any application. I hope it'll look good on an application. I can't really answer that question right now because I have not applied for anything since I got hired in March because everything's closed. So hopefully it'll look good on my college applications that I start filling out this fall. So cross your fingers for me. Question number 9 is, what is the salary like? So I don't want to tell you guys exactly how much I make because that's a very private thing, but I make above minimum wage per hour. Like I make a grand total per trip, but if you break it down, like our trips are 2.5 hours. If you break it down, I make a little more than minimum wage per hour. So I also make tips. Typically on a private charter, I'll make $20 in tips, which is great. That's my gas money for the week, or I'm saving for a new camera, so I will put that towards my camera fund. But I do make a decent amount of money deckhanding a whale watching boat. Last question, number 10, is what are your duties as a deckhand photographer? So basically, I'm there to make sure no one drowns and that everyone is safe, having a fun time. I answer a lot of questions that kids or adults have. I take pictures. I talk to the captain. I entertain the captain. Yeah, it's just I'm basically getting paid to whale watch and teach people about whales. Like that's I love my job so much, and I cannot express how grateful I am for my boss for hiring me. So Ryan, again, if you're watching this, thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, my duties are basically to make sure everyone is safe, having fun, and getting educated on all the wildlife we are seeing. Those were all the questions I have on what it's like working on a whale watching boat. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any more questions about what it's like working on a whale watching boat, go ahead and comment them down below and I will be sure to answer them. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!